Hey dorks, just a quick message reminding you to head over to twitch.tv/mindgappodcast and give us a follow. We live stream when we record our new podcast episodes, and we're live streaming video game sessions on Saturday nights at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. We're playing super rad stuff like Among Us, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, Jackbox games, and Tabletop Simulator. Come hang out and play along with us. That's twitch.tv/mindgappodcast.
Mind Gap Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to Mind Gap Podcast. I'm Doug.
I'm Justin.
Justin was about to take a drink of something, but then I interrupted him with his
starting
part.
my timer.
Oh, he's starting his timer. There we go. How's everyone doing? So happy to be on another episode. At the time that we're recording this, for folks that are just listening, this is like a bonus. Like we're doing this on a Saturday morning. We don't normally do this.
Right. You guys got a stream last Tuesday.
Mhm.
The episode dropped Thursday.
Mhm.
You're getting a stream of a podcast today. You're going to get us playing D&D tonight. Then next Tuesday, you're going to get a stream. And then next Thursday, it's going to be a podcast drop. What the fuck is going on?
This is how much we love you.
Yes.
That much is how much we love you.
The love is true.
The love is real, and that's all that matters.
Is forever.
Yeah. So we're married now. So just so you know.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah, man.
Did you just diddle me with your wedding finger?
Man. Fuck, is it my birthday? Jared, when's your birthday? What's up with that?
No. He's saying the love.
No, when is your birthday? Say it right now.
Yeah. Tell us.
Getting all that content? That's right.
Right, but when's your birthday?
But when's your birthday?
Answer the question, Jared. Why are you avoiding this?
Just kidding. No, you have a birthday. Don't act like you don't have a birthday.
Stop being evasive. Answer the question.
Answer the question, Jared. This is why you come here, is to be berated by people that pretend to love you. When's your birthday?
August 19th.
It's not your birthday. That's a lie. That is a lie. This relationship is over.
Do you have social security numbers down there?
Yeah, what's your social security number?
I was just going to say, let's get all the information so we can steal his identity. And then I realized, I don't know if Australia has social security numbers. How do you steal identity in other countries? That's what we want to.
Right.
That's what we're exploring today.
I want to be an American prince calling Nigeria, telling them I have something for them. Do you want to own a McDonald's franchise? Because I've got one for you.
You want a skateboard from Walmart?
It's like, what do we offer? I mean, what can we offer?
I got 3.
I got 3.
You can have one.
I'll give you one. But first, I'm going to need the first, middle, and last social security numbers.
What would you... Okay, so if you were going to call, what would you offer to another country?
Oh, my God.
If you were going to be the scammer.
Oh, what can we offer? What is something we offer here? Like,
I mean, what in reality, what do the other offer? What are the counter offers? What are they offering us?
I mean, they're offering money, right? I mean, that's always the basic, right? Like,
right. So would we just be offering money back?
I guess. I mean, I think it'd be fun to spin it like, do you want some sort of fast food franchise? Because I want you, I want you in there,
It's gotta be a Sonic then.
So, oh yeah. So which fast food franchise will we offer? That's the thing, because it's got to be something that's like, McDonald's is. I mean, that could maybe that's a selling point, right? Like we want to give you a restaurant, and McDonald's, it's got that name brand. It's got
That's
that
true.
thing where people are gonna be like McDonald's. If you say Sonic, people are gonna be like, I don't know what this is. They may not translate. Jared, do you know what a Sonic is? A fast food restaurant. I don't think they have those in Australia. I'm assuming
McDonald's
they don't.
Is everywhere.
Everywhere. I mean, if you want to be shitty about it, you offer them a Hardee's, You'd be like, you want this Hardee's? Like,
That'd
gross.
be Hardee's is Sonic the Hedgehog. Perfect. That case in point.
That answers the question. No, Sonic is a fast food. It's like a retro. We got Macca's. Cool. Sonics are like, retro. You pull in and then you order from like a little, like you would through a normal drive-through. But then the idea was that like the people bring it out to you on a tray and you can eat in your car or you can eat on a little bench. And originally they had roller skates and they would have like little change things to give you change to give it back to you. They're really known for their like, I don't know what you call them. The Route 66 drinks, which are just basically 66 ounces of sugary diarrhea juice.
I actually like Sonic hamburgers. I do prefer if you give me a McDonald's or a Sonic, I'll probably choose Sonic most of the time.
Oh, hands down.
In-N-Out Burger is for me. That's
overrated.
That's it.
Gotcha.
No.
Overrated.
No.
Yes, overrated.
I didn't say an In-N-Out Burger. Don't hold me to that.
You heard it here. In-N-Out Burger, overrated.
I feel like you have to give the McDonald's. That would have to be the
You'd
one
have to be.
Yeah.
If you'd be like, hey, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and not only we're making a special offer to you, but you just need to send us the money to fly Ronald McDonald out, and he will open the store for you.
Got you. There you go.
Right.
We want to do that. Other things we could offer, used car lot. No cars included, but we'll give you the lot. We'll build the lot for you. You got to put in the used cars all by yourself.
Yeah.
It's that.
Confuse them and offer a Hungry Jack. Is Hungry Jack's a thing here?
Is that sounds like Hungry Man frozen dinners, I used to have those a lot growing up. Man, when I think about what I ate growing up,
those are Hungry Man's though. This is Hungry Jack.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, I confused. I heard Hungry Jack. I heard Hungry Man.
Well, Jack is a man, presumably.
Yeah. What up, Noah Reno? How you doing, pal? Good morning to you too.
You think of all the gross shit that you eat?
Dude, like, because listen, my parents did what they did, right? I don't hate them for it, but my dad worked all the time. My mom was a teacher, and it didn't dawn on me how much my family didn't cook until much later in my life, where I was like, holy shit, how do I know how to cook? Like, we just didn't do it. Like, we always ordered out or we went to eat. Like the big thing we would do is like when I was younger and I was in the age limit, we'd go to Ponderosa, and it was on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I think kids ate for 49 cents. You got a burger or a hot dog and access to the buffet for 49 cents. So my mom would pick us up after school. We'd go eat there for dinner, and you could start to see how Doug's food habits formed,
Mm-hmm. Now, would she pay with 2 quarters and demand a penny back?
Sometimes.
I mean,
she would also order her own, so thing. So
right. Well, I love how they called it Ponderosa Steakhouse, but it was just a gross buffet.
Well, the thing is, you could order steaks. You could order steaks off of their menu, but I rarely did that.
Did they have steaks at the buffet?
Not the buffet. They were made to order. But also, they were also low quality meat, obviously, because
naturally,
it was so gross.
Right.
And it was one of those things where I think back to that, and then I think back to like when we'd go to get groceries, we would get all these like frozen dinners, like Hungry Man, and we would just warm them up, and just I think about all how my palate was forged by that, because they would have green beans in there, but they would be so gross and rubbery that I was like, I don't like green beans. And it was just so bad, awful, it's honestly just been this moment where I'm like, oh, no wonder I eat like shit. I would I'm going to have this entire box of Kraft macaroni and cheese, because that's what was there, and I would eat it. Right. And I got my consumption from buffets. All my hometown had was buffets. Golden Corral, Chinese buffets. We had 3 Chinese buffets. We had Ponderosa. We had just fast food as far as the eye could see. You watched a promo video for my hometown back in the day, where it was sort of like selling my hometown to the college that's there, and all you saw is it was like all these jump cuts, and you paused each one. You're like, fast food. You're like, franchise. That's all there was. Like, it was just.
I forgot about that.
So it's the same today. There's just a whole bunch of stuff. You start to realize why so many people in America eat like shit, because this is what's available. It's cheap, it's easy, and it's terrible for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It
Yeah.
is. We are. I don't know where it turned to. Like, I think what maybe we innovated, like the concept of a fast meal to get back to work and to this, and this, because we're so go, go, go. And then that, because of capitalism, that then bred the next franchise and the next, like, McDonald's bred Burger King, bred Wendy's, and then there was like competition. Because I'm wondering what about just us in America? Why? Like, why? Why are we so locked into this real gross, greasy, shitty, high sodium way of eating where other countries have been doing beautifully natural foods for years? I just don't understand what got us to this point.
I think it's part of it is just our culture, right? Capitalism sort of breeds that, like you said. Like we gotta do this. Like we don't value taking time to sit down and eat. Like
right.
Like as you all know, I've been using Noom. And one of the things they actually go through is they talk about different diets and different cultures and how that affects their eating habits. And many cultures out there value time spent together at a table eating. Like it's that's part of the meal is sitting down and enjoying it. You hear things about like the Spanish siestas, right? Like during the day they're like, hey man, we're closed for lunch, and they're gone for a couple hours and whatever. Yeah. Or they just, for us, I think a lot of eating has become, get this in my body so I can go do something else. Right. And then you add to that the capitalism of like, how do we get people to keep coming back? Well, we're going to put in a lot of sodium, a lot of sugar. So it's going to, make you crave it more. It's going to, maybe that wasn't designed, but they realized how much people like that. And over time, you realize that there's a chemical reaction to that where savory sweet makes you crave it more. And not only that, it's high calories for low density. So you're eating a lot of it, getting a lot of calories, but not actually filling yourselves up. So I think that's kind of, how it came. That's what my life was growing up. My parents working their asses off. They weren't going to come home and then be like, all right, let's start baking this chicken. Like that just wasn't something we did. And it's taken me to get to 38. I almost said level 38. To level 38 to understand.
I think that's what we need to start calling our new birthdays.
How old are you? I'm at level 38 right now.
Level 38, yeah.
Yeah, I'm halfway through level 38,
I'm very into
Close to leveling up. I think I may do that moving forward. Jared levels up in August, so that'll be pretty exciting.
Presumably.
Yeah, so I think that totally shaped the way that, because I also didn't eat a variety of things. I ate one main thing. And that's what I've realized I've had to change so much in the way that I eat now is I would eat a 22-ounce steak, all of it. I'd eat all of that thing in one sitting.
That's it.
And then adding on other things. And I would just focus entirely on that. It's like, that's not good. You shouldn't do that.
Right.
You should have a portion of that with other good food.
Right.
You can't have that, but just take 5 ounces. Just take 5 ounces of that and then have a bunch of vegetables and things that are low calorie, high density, so that you're eating a lot of it, but you're not just consuming an assload of calories.
Right.
Once I figured that out, I'm like, that's.
This week I made a balsamic glazed salmon, and
awesome.
So it was a nice 4-ounce fillet, and then we had a little bit of mashed potatoes on the side, green beans and peas, and it was a wonderfully, like, I got done with it, and the next morning I woke up. So for me, typically, if I just I have to do it with my mouth because I don't have a soundboard. No, if I eat similar to how we used to eat, talking like that, I would wake up in the morning and I would not be hungry. Like, Beth would wake up and she eats much better than I do. She'd wake up and she'd be like, oh, I can't wait. I'm so hungry. I can't wait for breakfast. She gets real excited for breakfast. One of her favorite things. And always takes me at least an hour to start to even begin to maybe feel hungry in the morning. And then after I have a meal like that, I woke up in the morning. I'm like, oh, I could do breakfast. Like, I get it now. My body was able to properly process this food overnight, and it was a normal portion size, and everything worked. When you do things the way that they're supposed to work, your body, man, it just lines right up.
It's amazing how much better you feel. when you just, because I've heard that forever, like, you just feel better. And it's funny because when I was doing my keto kick, I was like, I don't really feel better. It's because I was going hard on the bacon and those things. Like, I wasn't really eating the way that I was supposed to on that plan. I heard you could have meat and cheese. I'm like, I got this. I didn't read any more, and I was off to the races. Like, I'm like, this is my diet. And I did have some success, but probably not in the way long term it was going to be good for me. My body was like, what is this?
Well, I also, because the one thing that never made sense was when you were doing it, I questioned you a few times, but I never really drove the point home because I didn't do research either. But I'm like, logically, the way that you're eating doesn't make sense for health. Like, because you'd be like, yep, woke up this morning, ate a pound of bacon, and I feel like that's
start off the days with my arteries shaking, like it's great.
Exactly. And I was like, I mean, I understand the concept of keto, but this doesn't feel right.
Yeah, so I was doing it completely wrong. That's less about, it's like, hey, don't eat that many carbs. Like, you want to, I understand. I'm not going to go into it because no one gives a shit. But point is, I was doing it way wrong because I'm like, oh, you can have bacon. I was like, bacon all the time. Bacon flavored this. I'm going to bake bacon and cook it in the bacon grease. This is good. High fat. This is good. It's like, dude, chill. Like, you gotta relax. But yeah, it's like being on this, like I weighed in today, I'm like, I'm down 40 pounds at this point. So like,
that's awesome, man.
I joined a gym yesterday.
Wow.
So I'm gonna start doing strength training and stuff again. So fucking
Very
in it to
nice,
win
man.
it, baby. I'm in it to win it. And,
Do it. Let me ask you
yeah.
a question. Is there a reason that you decided to join a gym instead of just getting stuff for your basement?
That's a great question. The stuff that I want to do, I've spent so much of my time lifting weights in a gym, and that's what I love. I love all the different machines. There's absolutely, you're right. Like, you could totally, part of it too is, I'm getting a new job, and one of my benefits is they subsidize health and wellness with a dollar amount every month. And I was like, well, I mean, if they're going to give me that money, I'm going to use it. So I figured, why not just do that and then expense it every month? So that to me was also,
that makes complete sense.
That was a compelling reason to get it going. I'm like, if they're going to pay for it, then I might as well join a gym, which I think is a really cool benefit, by the way. Like, hey, we're going to subsidize your health and wellness, which I think is pretty cool. So I did that, and I went through the whole hard sell on them yesterday. Because I signed my contract online. It's like, you got to stop in to get your thing. And I'm like, I'm going to go when I'm not planning to work out because I have no doubt they're going to put me through. Because I did this before with the gym. And they put you through the whole thing. Well,
let's see where you're at. You want to come and we'll have someone assess you, and then, maybe you can get, look, for a low cost, we get you a trainer that this and this and this. And
Yeah. And, I was just sitting there going, Jesus Christ, like, he's like putting in all like my stats, like how much do you weigh? What's this? What are your goals? And listen, there's a percentage of this is true. It's accurate, right? They are there to help. If they're just like, go work out. There you go. You're good to go. What if I need help, right?
Gym's up this way.
Yeah.
Shower's over there. Please don't poop in the shower.
Yeah, right. I don't want to have any waffle stomps. Like, we've had enough of that. I don't want that. So I do appreciate that, but it was hard to discern between how much this was the sales pitch, how much of this was them actually giving a shit. And I was in a good place. I was just like, whatever, man. Because part of it too is I go, listen, I'm already doing well. I want to enhance this. So when he's like, so tell me about what you're eating. I'm like, dude, I've lost almost 40 pounds. He's like, whoa, congratulations. And what time frame? I go, since March 2nd. He's like, whoa. I go, yeah, like I'm in it. Like, I'm in it to do this. He's like, cool. Because he showed me the breakdown of like work, like how you're gonna get better. He's like 60% of it is eating well. I'm like, I got that covered. Obviously, right? I'm doing that well. Like,
look at me, I'm an Adonis.
I'm a
you idiot.
You idiot.
Now show me where the showers
look
are.
Look at this body. It's now I'm sweaty. Let's go shower. So I did appreciate, some element, and I'll be honest with you too. I think I actually might do a few trainer sessions because I haven't lifted in a while. I just don't like the thinly veiled sales tactics. Like, he's showing me around. he's like, hey, do you know what this machine does? I'm like, yes. He's like, do you know what this one does? I go, no. And then he grabs a trainer. He's like, hey, I just want you to talk to this guy real quick. He's like, hold your hands up and do a squat and lift your legs up. And he's like, so here's the thing where I'm like, listen, I just came here to get my stuff so that I could fucking come here and work out. I didn't ask for this. He's like, I see you're a little wobbly. I'm like, I probably am. He's like, do you stretch? I'm like, no. That's why I've come here, is to do this stuff. So
this is why I've joined your gym.
Yeah, like I'm not here because, but part of me like felt really good because I'm like, listen, I'm on the right track. I'm eating well. I walk 2 to 3 times a day between 5 and 7 miles. Like I'm on a right progression. I want this element infused into it. So I felt like whatever he was like trying to suggest or whatever, I was just like already there. Already there. Like obviously I'm not where I need to be physically, but this is where I want to go. I'm making the effort. I'm in it to win it. I was just like, at some point, I was like, dude, can I just go? Like, I'm so glad I'm not working out right now because I would be fucking furious. Like, just let me go fucking work out, dude. Give me my pass so I can go.
I will cancel my contract
this
minute if you do not stop talking to me.
Yeah, just Jesus, man. Like, let me go. Like, but I'm also not going to be the person that thinks that they know everything, because I've done weightlifting before. I'm open to, having people, help me out here. Why are you laughing?
I want you to go in there and the guy who knows nothing, they're like, do you know how to use this piece of equipment? It's a punching bag. You're like, yeah. And you just hold on to it and like wrap your legs around so you're swinging from it. Is this right? Is this a core workout?
Or I could grab it, I try to wrestle it. I tried to get in a headlock. Ah!
You just start headbutting it like a ram. Yeah.
I start biting it.
This is it, right?
This is a good bag, man. This is good material. Most of them I ripped through almost immediately, but
I'm gonna pretend like I know everything. I know some.
I see someone on a bike. I'm like, you idiot! You're not going anywhere. This fucking idiot.
It's dumb, right? This guy's dumb.
This is dumb. Bikes go places. You're not going anywhere. And the guy's like, you're right. I'm fat. I'm not going anywhere in life. I'm like, no, literally, you're not going anywhere.
You take one of the plates and you just discus it across the gym. Is that it? I was in track and field.
I watch Braveheart. This is how I train. I try to kill somebody. I challenge people to fights.
Sparring.
Yeah, right? People are doing the ropes.
Those guys from 300 got those cum gutters.
I come in and the only thing I want is like, I want cum gutters. That's all my goal. I want cum gutters.
Oh God, that word. I don't like that word. I shouldn't have said it.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah, that's a pretty gross description.
I'm upset that we invoked that word.
Yeah. So now it's in our minds. If you don't know what those are, just look up like Brad Pitt from Fight Club when he has his shirt off. It's that side, like you're so ripped and your body fat is so low that you have like these lines on the side of your torso that look like if any sort of fluid were to get in there, it would just, kind of like slide down like gutters,
The V.
The V.
Yeah.
So,
that's exciting that you joined the gym, man. I've been going down to my gym in my building the last week. I've done 6 days in a row working out.
Good boy, man.
Feeling good.
Good job. I remember when you and I used to do that.
3 pounds down.
Good for you. That's great.
Yeah. Not 40.
Hey.
But 3.
Hey, obviously my story is unique to the fact that I was eating like a monster. And as soon as I stopped that, my body was like, thank God. Let's get this out of here. Right.
All right. I can breathe again.
Yeah, I supposedly I'm not snoring as much anymore, which is also a big win. So
really, I guess that makes sense because they do say that people that struggle with weight do tend to snore more and stuff.
Yeah, so, you have that much more weight constricting your airways and stuff. So I really want to head that off. Like I want to get rid of that as well. I don't want that in my life. My dad
I'm
has
sure you'll
sleep
have a
apnea.
much nicer sleep. Like you'll probably get a much more restful sleep if you can cut that shit out.
Yeah, I would definitely want to cut that shit out. I'm over it. So I want to be able to, because at this point, when Jill and I like go to a place and rent a hotel or whatever, we have to have 2 rooms because I can't sleep in there because I keep everyone awake. So it's like
no shit. So you guys rent in a hotel? You rent 2 hotel rooms?
Hmm?
Wow.
Bad because she's like, we can't sleep, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. Snoring is the worst, Jared.
It's that loud though, huh?
Well, the thing is, like, Jill, I mean, it keeps her up, and then if I'm in there, she's punching me, and then I don't sleep well. It's like nobody wins. Like
Right.
everyone loses in that regard. So, it's a huge inconvenience if we're like, hey, yeah, you guys come stay at our house. I'm like, do you have 2 rooms available? Because
Right.
I need one, and so does Jill. Like,
Right.
and the kid, because I'm gonna keep everyone up. So
What did you never thought about getting one of those machines?
I don't really want to, because I think that's admitting that you've got sleep apnea, which is a dumb reason, but I'm hoping that if
get what I means I don't have it,
because I want to make sure I would like to get healthy so that I just stop it all together. And if I get to my goal place, hopefully I'll be well enough that takes care of itself. So that's kind of
awesome.
what I'm aiming to do. So,
Yeah,
but enough about
awesome.
Doug and his amazing weight loss journey. Let's talk for a little bit about Mind Gap, because I've been missing to do this at the top of the show for the last 3 or 4 shows. Hey guys, a little bit of housekeeping. This is a mid-show reveal.
This is what? This is 25 minutes in reveal. Yeah.
There you go. Here we are. Hey, in case you don't know, we are on Spotify. Be sure to follow us there. Check us out there as well as everywhere else you find your podcasts. Also, come join our Discord server. Do you know what Discord is? It's a little community. It's almost like your own family online. And that's what our Mind Gap Discord community is all about. If you want to join it, head over to twitch.tv/MindGapPodcast. Down in our About section, you'll find a little button that says Discord. Click on that. It'll take you right over to our server, and you get to meet the Mind Gap family. Join us. There's no hazing, unless you want there to be. And we got all sorts of cool stuff we do. We're posting memes. We're being silly. We're, more importantly, setting up game nights on the regular. People are always playing games with each other, which, again, is so important to me. It's so exciting to know that if someone's like, hey, anyone want to play? And people just come. It's great. It's so cool. So if you want to join something like that, click on over there. Come join the Mind Gap community. Also, we have merch on Redbubble. Head over to redbubble.com and our Mind Gap in the search field. You will find our 2 designs on there. Help support the podcast. Get something really cool in the meantime. We'd really appreciate it. And lastly, if you don't know, we do a video game stream every Saturday at 8 p.m. Central at twitch.tv/MindGapPodcast. I would say, by the time this comes out, already passed, but we're doing, D&D, the fantasy board game, tonight in real time. But who knows what it'll be for next weekend? I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I have so many great games. One of the great guys, Slotty, our producer, bought me a game that involves penises. So he's anxious to try it. It's called Genital Jousting is what it's called. So
I played that at camp one time.
Yep. We all did. Let me see if I can find the Genital Jousting tells the story of John, a penis who needs to find a date for his high school reunion. Genital Jousting is also an online and local multiplayer party game about flaccid penises and wiggly anuses for up to 8 players at once. Are you interested? Because I'm interested. And it was a gift, so I have to play it. So that's kind of how I look at it.
8 players at once.
Yeah.
That's a lot of jiggly.
I watched the trailer for it. I'm like, I don't know what this game is, but,
Did you watch it? Did you watch it in incognito mode on your?
I didn't. I watched
computer?
it through Steam. Noah Reno brings up a good point. Rock Simulator was also a gift, so I'm long overdue for playing that. I have some time this week.
After Penis Simulator.
I have some time this week. All right. I have a week off. I might do some bonus streams this week, and I think Rock Simulator absolutely has to be on there. So we'll see what happens. We can see what Rock Simulator is all about. Also, Wolf gave me Mount Your Friends, which is
Mount Your Friends.
Mount Your Friends is.
I'm seeing I feel like a pattern emerging here.
Yeah. This one, the details on this one. Oh, you have to be 18 to view this content because that's how good. Not the penis one, but this one. Experience the extreme simulated sporting sensation that's sweeping our digital nation. Your Mount Your Friends is a fiercely competitive sporting event for you to play with your friends in the contextual security of your own home, assuming that your home is not composed of sexual innuendo. There you go.
All right, that means nothing to me.
It's like QWOP, but you're climbing on one another. Yeah, that's what it looks like. You have like these bodybuilders and they're wearing Speedos and their dongs like swing around. You have to try and climb on each other to get to to be the tallest, I think. It's bonkers. We're going to have fun, guys, is what I'm saying. These video game streams are going to be great. We're going to have fun. It'll be a good time. So
that's a thing.
That's a
That's
thing.
a thing.
Yes. So come join us Saturdays at 8 p.m. And just follow us on Twitch so you'll get notified whenever we go live, so you can have fun with us. With that being said, let's get to one of our topics for this week, which is Tom Cruise is filming a movie in space. So
yeah, that's a thing he's doing. Always got to be pushing it to the next level.
Yeah. We need a second game stream during the week. Hey, man, you'll get it this week, that's for sure. I guarantee that. So Tom Cruise and Elon Musk's SpaceX are working on a project with NASA that could be the first narrative feature film, an action adventure to be shot in outer space. And no, it's not a Mission Impossible movie. It's its own. And NASA actually confirmed this on May 5th, saying NASA is excited to work with Tom Cruise on a film aboard the space station. So he's going up to the International Space Station. We need popular media to inspire a new generation of engineers and scientists to make NASA's ambitious plans reality. So I think Doug Liman is also going to be the director on this. And I believe he is the one that I think he did the first Bourne movie. And I think he also did Edge of Tomorrow as well.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So he's a pretty cool director. Also a great cinematographer. So
I'll say this. It was only a matter of time before this happened.
Yeah, right.
Like we've done movies, for 80 something years on Earth.
Yeah.
We've done movies at sea. We've done we've there's been stuff shot on planes and in helicopters and in yada yada yada. This is just the next step. It was bound to happen at some point.
Yeah.
We're just lucky enough to see it in our lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. Like, I think it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, let's push the boundaries of what we can do with filmmaking. Like, how cool would that be? I don't know the logistics of how you would even do that, but I mean,
yeah, because I'm trying to think, like, you've got to do like a skeleton crew at that point. You've got to have a super pared down. You can't have 100 people, craft services. You got licorice flying all over the place. You've got your script supervisor who's.
Is it red or black licorice?
Oh, red, of course.
God, you fucking monsters.
Do you like black licorice?
I do. I am one of those guys, proudly, guys. But not all black. No,
guys, this is the last week we're doing the podcast. I can't.
Happy to be here.
I can't anymore. You're witnessing the death of a podcast here. No, but yeah, you can't just have all these people out in space. So I'm going to be very curious to see how they logistically pull this off. And two, like, is it going to be filmed purely inside the space station? Because Tom Cruise is going to want to do a spacewalk. He's going to want to get outside.
This guy's like he broke his ankle jumping off of a building. He climbed that 123-story building in Dubai. He's done all sorts of shit. Was he hanging off of a plane when it was taking off? Like, yeah. For sure. Yeah. I love this. Jared said, licorice isn't red, Justin. That's just bullshit, plastic, and lies. Licorice is black and salty.
Australia, ladies and gentlemen. Australia.
Apparently, I'm part Australian then. Makes sense to me.
I don't think the one that you eat is salty, though, is it?
No, but I'd be down to try it. I'd be down to try it. You heard it here first.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm thinking, like, just logistically, like, what's lighting gonna be like getting the camera up there? I mean, obviously they do that, right? But, like, what's the setup gonna be? Because, I mean, the director's gonna be if the director is also the cinematographer, I don't know how you're gonna do those shots, man.
I feel like that's what you have to do, though. I feel like you've got to have a director who's comfortable operating the camera, because again, that just cuts down on everything. So
and Doug Liman is one of those guys. He does know how to operate a camera. So
he
was originally a cinematographer and then became a director. So he's got those chops.
There you go. Because I can't imagine like having a whole video village set up where you've got the director and producers and they're watching on the monitors and like there's only so much fucking space. No pun intended.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
Like, and then so you got to have probably director who's running the camera, a sound person, and maybe a couple extra
I was like, what about audio? Like, you got that's gonna be kind of wild.
The more we're talking about it, the more I am very interested to see what this would be. What is the story?
Yeah, because I also have to imagine it's got to be relatively minimal what they're doing up there. Like, it can't just be like we're going to be shooting up there for 2 months. Like, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know why I'm thinking. I'm like, this has to be for a very specific set of. But if the movie's like about being in space, maybe it's just like we're doing a scene. And we could say that this one scene was filmed actually at the International Space Station, then everything else is back down on Earth.
Right, exactly. Because it's like I think about like James Bond when they did Moonraker. They went to space. They went to space for part of it, for part of it. But I think they could definitely, if they can work it into the narrative, this character has to jet up for something and then comes back down, and they could shoot for a week up there.
Yeah,
I don't think that would be out of the question. I just don't know how, again, unless you take it from an extremely indie film standpoint and you do a very pared down, like maybe it's almost like Sam Rockwell in Moon.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that movie?
Yes. Love that movie.
Right. So maybe they do something where it's literally just Tom Cruise and maybe one other actor, and it's a very character driven piece, and they shoot it in 3 weeks, and they spend 3 weeks on the space station or something.
Hi, LFX Asian. Thanks for stopping by. You're welcome for the raid because you are a cool person. Thanks so much. Thanks for stopping by our stream. Nice to see you. Yeah, actually, Jared asked a good question. Can you use regular film cameras in space? I mean,
I would think that you would have to. I would guess that you would have to shoot digitally.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think you could do like 35 millimeter, because I don't know what I don't know if the lack of gravity would affect how the camera goes reel to reel, or how the film actually interacts inside the camera,
Yeah.
But digitally, of course. I mean, they have cameras and stuff up on space. You know, people take videos of themselves in the space stations. The astronauts have done that. Was it John Kelly? I think he recorded what was the ground control to Major Tom.
Mm-hmm.
He did a music video while he was up in the space station. So you can definitely film up there.
Yeah, obviously they do streams up there and stuff like that. So, video goes up there and comes back down. So they're able to capture that sort of stuff. So
yeah,
for sure that definitely happens. Yeah, it'll just be very interesting to see, because I mean they haven't really given many details about it. It's still being planned and everything like that, but I'm very curious. Yeah. But what's also interesting is, plot twist, pressure causes the camera to combust.
Are they going to do any of those big set piece explosions? Because I always see space stations exploding.
Oh, they shoot digital and then do VFX for 90% of it.
There we go. Exactly, yeah.
Sir Penguin Warrior, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Welcome to the show. On the other side of this story, which is interesting, that this just came out, I think just recently, on the 14th, which was yesterday. Russia is announcing an actor and a director for their first ever movie made in space. So we have ourselves the making for a new space race, but it's all about filming movies. So, we've got Russia is racing to become the first nation to shoot a movie in space, and announced to send an actress and a director to the International Space Station in October, which I think is around the same time that Tom Cruise is going to be doing his stuff.
So are they going to have like permits of like, you get this wing and we get this wing?
Well, here's the thing. It's the International Space Station. So it belongs to 14 countries, Russia being one of them. So
right, but I'm saying, like, even when you're like, if you've got to shut a street down, you got to get a permit to film there. So like, do they have to have permits for different wings of the, like, well, the Russians are shooting their film on, in this section of the International Space. I actually don't even know how big in my mind, it's like, it's what you've seen in the movies where like, they're like walking halls and stuff. And like, it's just this stuff. I really don't know how big it is.
I don't think it's that big. And then you got the actual astronauts who are like, well, you guys fucking knock this off. I'm trying not to die up here. Okay. You twats.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think you said off mic too, like how there's the movie. Why not just collaborate with Russia?
The movie is about America and Russia trying to get, but it's like a comedy, it's a comedy of who can get there first, like And at what cost?
It's a rom-com.
There you go.
So the Russians have a female actor, and then we have Tom Cruise, and we who's up there, and then we're supposed to be angry at each other, but there's that forbidden love that happens between them,
dude.
And they're the ones that finally stop the Cold War. Their love unites the two countries. Oh my God, we just wrote a movie.
It's so good. It's perfect.
Space.
It's perfect. I love it. Jared says, "Are these the Star Wars with warring stars?" Now, supposedly the Russian version actually has a plot. It's called The Challenge. Okay. The movie will tell a story of a surgeon who has to operate on a sick cosmonaut in space because his medical condition prevents him from returning to Earth to be treated.
Oh, so, that's a really cool premise, actually.
Yeah.
I like that.
See this. They have zero gravity training for the next couple of months. Apparently, there was some sort of contest to see who would get to do this, which director and actor, and they figured this out. This is season 2 of Space Force.
Yeah.
Overall, I'm thrilled for this. I think it's cool. I think it's great to try and do these sorts of things. I'm always for trying out different ways to approach cinema. I think this is cool. I'd love to see how this pans out. Also, space was it Space Force, SpaceX. Let's get some more commercial stuff going to space. I think that's a great idea. Let's see what else is possible. I love that we're still trying this stuff out, and that we're seeing, because to me, that's what we need to do, man. I think we're naturally, as humans, we're explorers. We're curious. Let's feed that curiosity. Let's go do more things. Let's find a way to mine asteroids or comets as they come by our planet. Let's get some materials from there. Let's see what we can do from that. Let's create more things in space, and let's go explore, man. Let's get ourselves to Mars. I think that's so fucking exciting. It takes me out of the day-to-day nonsense that we have going on to think about. Imagine us putting our resources and our brain power together to create something that will allow us to go to other places. How fucking cool would that be if we could pull that off? That's amazing.
Well, I think that people were so excited back in the day. There was that space exploration was just the fucking thing. Like, people dreamed of being an astronaut, and holy shit, they were rock stars. And all of a sudden, it just kind of waned, and it fell away. And NASA shuttered for a little while, and then they kind of got back on track. And it was just I feel like we need something to kind of get that resurgence of excitement and hope back into space exploration and the space programs and stuff.
I think part of it too is that maybe we didn't have the technology, to get us beyond the moon.
Stagnant for a while. Yeah.
I mean, we put some probes out. We did rovers and things like that. I mean, there's a lot that it takes a lot of time to make that stuff happen. But I feel like with the stuff that's happening in Mars, China just landed their first, I think, rover on Mars, which is pretty cool.
Oh, I didn't hear about that. That's awesome.
So people are, we're exploring this stuff, which I think is really cool and really important. And more importantly, Jared brings up a good point. SpaceX. When's the first porn going to be shot in space?
There you go.
Let's make it happen.
Maybe that's the subplot. That's the B plot to this Russian movie.
What, porn?
Yeah, well, like the doctor goes up there to perform the surgery, but finds out that the only way to save this astronaut or this cosmonaut is to have sex with him.
That's right. He needs intercourse to jumpstart his heart.
There you go. You know what? And throw Tom Cruise in there too. Have him get it on with the cosmonaut. Yeah.
There we go.
Why not?
This is a new age, man. We're all here.
This is international, baby.
This is right. This is international. This transcends boundaries and borders and thoughts.
This goes right back to the rom-com. It's just like the next level rom-com.
It is.
It's an adult rom-com. Yeah, in space.
Jared says, Americans in space. I'm not wearing a helmet. I have freedoms. It's in the Constitution of Rights. Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yep. You can't silence me.
I mean, let's face it. There's got to be a lane in porn for zero gravity sex, right? I mean, that has to be that would totally be a thing, right?
sure it's already been like the thing where they take the jet up and they you know how they currently shoot the zero gravity
Yeah.
scenes and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've done porn like that.
Yeah, for sure, right? I'm sure it's been totally
Jared,
worth it.
go ahead and search that and let us know if you find anything.
Yeah, zero gravity sex. Let's go. Let's see how it's going. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's real exciting. You
The
got 30
people
seconds.
demand to
Go.
know.
You're just like, ah. It's not even enjoyable.
Yeah.
Well, let's face it, sex never is, right?
Right. It's purely for procreation purposes.
Purely procreation. Right.
We need more Americans.
Oh, that's good. We need
Okay,
more
we're getting
Americans.
into a weird area now. Let's just move. If I could bell transition out of here, I would.
Ba-ding!
I don't know what that sounded like, but we're doing it.
It was kind of there. Let's talk about the Golden Globes, Justin's favorite award show.
Yes, I love me some globes
And it's
the golden variety.
It's thriving. Like people have never been happier with the show and what
just
it's offering.
Recognizing talent and diversity, and it has hit a stride.
Yeah,
We shall say.
it's hit something, and
That's true.
it's hit cancellation stride. NBC has canceled the 2022 one as the Hollywood Foreign Press Association struggles to reform the Hollywood stipulations. So, if y'all aren't familiar, Justin, do you know what's going on with this? Have you followed this at all?
Yes, well, a little bit. And I don't know if it was that they had no black members of the Hollywood Foreign Press or no people of color at all in the Hollywood Foreign Press, but it was very it was an extreme lack of diversity. And I know a lot of people were saying, like, how can this organization vote on on all of these films and actually have everyone represented if the people who are voting they themselves are not diverse. And so there was this call to action for more diversity, and the Hollywood Foreign Press has been trying as best they can to change that. They've been saying, we hear you and we're sorry. They've been going through the same public PR apology script that most people do. And just for a lot of people, it's not happening quick enough, and rightfully so. Like they're like, we hear you, but fucking change it. It's not that hard. Be diverse, be inclusive. And so, who was it? I think, was it Scarlett Johansson? There was Tom Cruise, and Tom Cruise.
What a
back
segue,
Golden
right?
Globes.
Yeah, he gave back 3.
Yeah. And then I think Scarlett Johansson, and there was someone else, I cannot remember who, maybe Mark Ruffalo. I think they all gave their Golden Globes back, saying we don't want these until you guys do better. We don't want any part of this organization. We don't want to be recognized by you.
Yeah.
Do better, basically.
I think the other side of that too is that it's been one of the worst kept secrets that essentially you can very easily bribe the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. Like, I think the big thing this year was the Emily in Paris movie from Netflix that was just absolutely, like, it was up for so many awards, and even the woman who wrote it was like lambasting it on Twitter, like, how is this up for Golden Globes? She's like, this is not a good movie. Like, she was just so honest. She's like, I don't see how this is. And
Beth and I watched the series, and it was mindless entertainment. There was nothing groundbreaking about it whatsoever at all.
what was interesting is that the Hollywood Foreign Press Association was invited the production. They spent 2 days in Paris in 5-star hotels.
I didn't know that.
See, that's the part of it where it's like, oh, so you can easily just sort of like, and we talked about this before when we talked about the Oscars, when I made the very low hanging fruit thing. I'm like, it's everyone blowing each other at the Oscars. This is what I mean when I say I don't like the award shows nowadays, because it's grown to this thing where now you can easily do something and like campaign for your thing. And I just don't think it's a real representation of what's good. Now, this stuff is subjective as hell. Like, you'd be like, who did the best performance? Who has the best movie? It's totally subjective. But the fact that you can be like, hey, come hang out at the set 2 days. We'll put you up in a 5-star hotel in Paris. like, hang out, schmooze them. Like, that's not a representation of that. Like, you brought up every organization does this, your job, my job. I don't schmooze to get, these kinds of things. It's determined by obviously someone advocating for me, and obviously by some level of performance it has to be proven. So there's more objective to it. But this is the stuff, and this, I'm not saying this applies to all of them, but it does. No. But what I'm saying is I want to do broad strokes here and just be like, this is why all of them are bad. But what I don't like about most of the stuff is things like this. It's gross that you can use or invest or try to find ways to get people to like your thing so that you can then also profit from it by saying, check out this Golden Globe award winning thing. It's going to draw more attention, which will ultimately increase more. It creates more dollars for the production, which I think is just really annoying and upsetting to me, and it diminishes the overall impact of winning this award, which honestly I'm thrilled to see this, where people are like, I don't fucking want it. Now granted, it's late in the game, they'd be like, I'm gonna give it back now, but still I think it still means something to be like, yo, take this shit back. I don't want it. I don't want to be associated with it. And I also find it interesting too that the Hollywood Foreign Press was like, here's what we're gonna do, and still people were like, that's not enough, you gotta do more.
Yeah.
Well, I think
the to your point, like, yes, this lack of diversity at the Hollywood Foreign Press is not new. So, why did it take so long for everyone to finally get the memo? But at some point, something needs to, like, it needs to start at some point. So I'm glad it is now at least starting. I personally do like the Golden Globes because it is it's the party one. Like, people are drinking, it's usually a little bit more off the rails, and it's a little bit more, it's less stuffy than some of the other ones, but at the same time, the lack of diversity, the fact that there's pay to play kind of stuff going on, it sours the whole thing. Quite frankly, am I sad to see it not going to be aired next year?
No.
Yeah, but I'm also sad that they put themselves in this position. Like, would I like to have it on? Absolutely, but under the right circumstances, under fair and equitable circumstances,
Because for me, anything that would come out of it for like the next show, I'd be like, how much of this was bought and paid for?
Absolutely,
yeah.
And the thing is, I feel like the Hollywood Foreign Press is going to absolutely have to more than prove that because they can say, how easy is it to go, you know what, it's been a year, we got our hands slapped, we're so sorry. Oh boy, we did it. Now we reflected and we're better now.
And we're going to gift it to every minority film that exists to somehow make up for it, right?
Right. And then it's like, again, which if it's valid, like if it's truly the best, like that's fantastic. But how undervalued or how like pandering is that then to just be like, oh, you get an award? It's like, no, like, vote on me because I'm the fucking best, What would be something they could do that would be so pandering that would set them further back? Like, I've got one. Go ahead.
They retroactively give Golden Globes to all of Tyler Perry's movies. Like, they do like a showcase for Tyler Perry and the Medea thing, and the people are like, listen, what are you doing? They're like, no, we have reflected. The Medea franchise will all get Golden Globes. See, we've learned. People be like, what? These are fine. These are movies. Why are you doing this? Like, no. Credit where credit's due.
You're using the hashtag wrong.
I don't believe so. I believe we will put that on all of the Golden Globes. Hashtag credit where credit is due.
Hashtag Golden Globes.
Hashtag Golden Globes. Hashtag nothing gold can stay. Wait, what?
Oh my God. God, what else could they do that would be the worst that would set them back?
There's nothing like a retroactively being given something, like
right. I think that might be
missed the mark years ago, but here's some.
If they on top of that, if they went back and they retroactively took awards away from other people, if they were just like, oh, you know what? Actually, we're gonna go ahead and just we didn't mean to give it to you. We were forced to. Like they make it sound like someone We got a lot of money for this, and so now we feel bad for that. So we're not giving back the money. We're just taking away your award.
They create their own big lie about the voting. Like, the voting has been compromised. The Dominion machines were hacked into. This is a huge conspiracy. They somehow spin it into
the accounting firm of Ernst & Young is to blame.
They're like, Cambridge Analytica came in here and they completely, and we're going to investigate this, and we won't stop. We're going to get the cyber ninjas in here to investigate all of the voting for the past 20 years. And we are going to, if we found out that there was any misleading or illegal, illicit activity, we're going to ask those that won the awards to ship us back at their own cost their Golden Globes. And we will then ship them to the new winners at their own cost as well to make sure that they get their Golden Globes.
We're also demanding that any of the accounting firms that tallied our votes drop the word fiduciary from their business cards.
They also be like, instead of this Golden Globe, you will get an NFT picture of the statue. It stands for non-fungible tokens. Do you all know what those are?
Don't try to change the subject, Globes. Don't try to change the subject.
They're like, we have learned, and now all of this will be non-fungible tokens. Did we do it? Did we get what you were asking for?
Right.
Diversity in awards. It's a non-fungible token.
We feel that making it a Golden Globe sends the wrong message. So now it will be a clear globe. Because we don't see color here at the Golden Globe.
That's it.
It's a clear globe.
It's the transparent globe.
Exactly.
It's the crystal globe.
We are transparent.
Because we are transparent because we don't see color.
I feel like that would be, if they went that route, that would be the end.
That would be the best one. Is the whole thing, they completely missed the mark. It's the color of this award. We will be the crystal globes because we don't see color. And that's their ad. They're like, we've changed, we've learned, we've heard what you've said, and we are sorry. From now on, we'll be the transparent globes because we don't see color.
Hashtag credit where credit is due.
Hashtag we don't see color.
Right. Hashtag transparent globes.
Oh my God. That would be the best. That would be the absolute best.
And the worst. Yeah.
That would be unsurprising.
Right.
Unsurprising. That's my favorite thing was people like try to like pretend they're not racist or like they think that this is good. They're like, hey, I don't see color, man. I don't see color. I'm like, you should, and you do.
Right.
That's
that
not
means
okay.
you are. That means you are, absolutely discrediting an entire section of the population. Yeah,
you're completely ignoring their experience. My favorite person who said that was the chief human resources officer at an organization I used to work for, and she said because she was married to a black man, she doesn't see color. And I was like, all right, let's dive into this. All right, let's break this down. One, you are the chief human resources officer. This is seeing color is part of your job description. You are trying to make sure we're diverse and equitable. You got to make sure that you're hiring the right people. If someone is potentially going to be terminated based on wonky grounds and they are a part of protected classes, you have to. It's part of what you do. You do see color. Second,
you have to take it into consideration.
Just because you're married to a black man does not mean you get any sort of privileges.
Right. You don't get the passes or anything. Yes, you.
Oh no, I've got an honorary card that I got from our last, global wife of black man meeting. I'm good. Here it is.
There's so many. Yeah, there's so much nuance to the entire conversation and things like that. Are just. I'm like you're missing the mark. I think it's just the easiest way to say it. You're missing the mark.
You know what was great about that team that I was on? Because I reported up to the HR team. At least two very openly racist people. And one of them who said she didn't see color. And the other one just blatantly racist. And I was just like, what are we doing here? Like, what is happening? And
sounds like an organization that you should be happy not to be part of anymore.
I definitely, that was the low part of my experience there. Let me tell you, it was low. And I just referred to one of those women as the great racist. And everyone knew what I meant. I'm like, oh, you mean the great racist that used to work here? And the people were like, oh, yeah, right.
So it was like the worst kept secret at the company.
Oh yeah, it was brutal.
Yeah.
It was so bad. It was absolutely horrible. It's just the absolute worst. So when I hear I don't see color, I just think of those two. And I'm like, right, you're a bad person.
Right. Oh,
I shouldn't say you're a bad person. I'm like, you're ignorant.
right. Exactly. You're missing the point of all of this conversation.
I get the intention. The intention being that like this is not something that is going to determine whether or not I like you or treat you any differently. But when you're like, I don't see you as you are, and therefore I don't see your experiences and your perspectives, not okay.
Right. Exactly.
Not okay.
Are you listening, Hollywood Foreign Press?
Yeah, you fucking cocksuckers.
Globes. Yeah.
Oh my God, what a shit show. What?
It is
show.
a shitty shit show.
What's over there on your left? Why'd you look? What's going on?
I'm smelling something like something either being cooking or burning, and I'm just making sure there's no smoke coming out of. I just don't know where. It's got me real worried because it's getting stronger.
Because there's a big difference between cooking and burning.
Yeah. Okay. Well, right now Abby's asleep over here, so if she's not I feel like animals pick up on stuff like this earlier. So
Yeah.
if she's just conked out, I'm good right now.
Yeah, you'll be okay.
Yeah. It smells getting stronger though. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Very disconcerting. Yeah.
You know, there's a smell that often permeates most award shows. And there's one award show in particular that I think we need to pay more attention to and we need to support more because it's fair. It's fair across the board. Just like,
I'm listening.
It's a matter of pitting, one category as a couple people against each other, and what they have to do is they have to come together and see who's going to come out victorious, who's going to get the trophy that's going to award them the prestige, the honor, and the recognition that they deserve. Do you know what it's called, Justin?
No, what is it?
Welcome to the Throwdown.
That's the Throwdown. Throwdown.
Oh, baby!
The Throwdown Awards season is here, and
Guys, it's
we
happening.
couldn't be happier,
Yes.
Oh. Jared just said it's super unfortunate, but the really racist guy at his work looks a lot like Doug. And he actually lost a bunch of weight, too. I don't like the correlation you're making here, sir. I don't like it. But thanks for sharing. I appreciate that. It makes me feel great. All right, so this week's Throwdown. Abby is an Aussie. She's not scared of a little fire. I like it. That's a fire joke. This week, we've got Rexplode from Invincible versus Remy LeBeau, also known as Gambit from the X-Men universe. Two characters that can take things and charge them with kinetic energy to make them explode.
I'm really excited that we're getting we're getting more superheroes that we can add to this, because it was getting a little hard to find new matchups. But now that we've got Invincible and we got what's the one that you've been watching, so we've got some other ones that are coming in.
You didn't even let me answer. You didn't even let me answer what it was, Justin.
Yeah, you'll recommend it.
Like that one you're watching. What is the one? All right, we're moving on.
I didn't want to ruin the recommendation.
That's cool.
I was thinking of you.
That's all good. Thanks for thinking of me.
Yeah.
So let's break these guys down.
Yeah, let's see what they got.
All right.
What do we have with Rexplode?
All right. I've got him pulled up.
All right. Do it.
All right. So, Rexplode, if you don't know, he is a character from the Invincible series, which you should watch. He's he's voiced by Jason Mantzoukas, so very, very funny.
Automatically he wins that because of that.
He's fantastic. So his powers enhance strength, enhance durability. Due to a chemical enhancement early in his adolescence, Rex has endurance slightly greater than normal humans. He was shot in the head and survived. That's a note there. This is also, by the way, the Rexplode from the comics, because they don't have something for the show yet, but obviously it's a similar source. He has enhanced agility, which we see in the show. He's flipping around, doing stuff. Molecular acceleration. So, due to a device implanted in Rex's arms, Rex has the power to accelerate molecules to an unstable level with potential energy, cause it to explode with kinetic energy when he throws the object. Size of the object can carry a larger explosion and chemical compound of the object. He caused a large explosion by accelerating a BB. He's thrown a computer and produced enough for it to defeat Octobos. He's ignited his skeleton, turning him into a suicide bomb with enough force to kill an evil version of Invincible. Spoiler alert. He also he's acrobatic. He's changing gymnastics. He can do martial arts, and he has stealth, which I mean, I don't know. I've yet to see that, but
he seems like he just comes in like a wrecking ball.
Yeah, right. His weaknesses, his powers only work on inorganic matter, so
okay,
he can't do anything like that. So you got Gambit pulled up?
I do. So Gambit, going through this, very shocking at how not powerful he ends up being. So he's got, similarly, molecular acceleration. He's got the power to take potential energy stored in an object, convert it to kinetic energy, thus charging that object with explosive results. Dissolution. Gambit can also cause objects to pull themselves apart instead of exploding violently, making them harmless and melt down to nothing. So that's interesting. So I wonder if Rexplode threw something at him, if Gambit could make it fall apart. Right?
Interesting.
Disruption. He can tame his explosive acceleration to temporarily scramble sensory awareness of a person, knocking them out cold. He's got enhanced conditioning, accelerated regeneration, static interference, creates neural static because of the charge. Potential energy is always in his body, shields his mind from intrusion by telepaths. Doesn't really help here. Vibration emission through kinetic acceleration can create a shock wave accompanying a bright flashbang that can leave a sizable crater in the ground. Remote charging, shear cutting. By charging his cards, he can slice. Acceleration bestowal, delayed charge, hypnotic charm, so he could just charm the shit out of Rexplode. And then he was also at one point, he was one of the horsemen of the apocalypse.
It's true.
So he got accelerated powers there. His weaknesses, he's normal strength, and he also cannot affect living matter. So it's only inanimate objects that he can affect with his powers.
He's also a master marksman, master martial artist, master stick fighter, and a master thief.
Those were former powers, though.
Oh, my bad. You're right. Oh no, no, those aren't former powers. I have to click on the former powers. His former powers, yeah.
That is poorly designed. Okay,
yeah, I agree.
Cool. Okay, yes. So he is a master marksman, master martial artist, master stick fighter. This is a tough one, man. I don't know. I feel like, and you said Rex has increased strength, right?
Enhanced strength.
Enhanced strength. Whereas Gambit does not. And I feel like that is a going to be I
don't know.
Mark in the negative column.
Well, because here's the thing. While Rex may have enhanced strength, I feel like that's canceled out by Gambit's being a master martial artist as well as a master stick fighter. Because I feel like you can be super strong, but as we've seen in MMA, like someone who's technical in a lot of different ways can, basically cancel out strength.
That's true. That's true.
I feel like Gambit has much more experience. He's older. He's a master marksman, so I feel like he can place his objects exactly where he wants them to go, which will make him more dangerous. Rexplode is a younger teenager. Well, at best, we'll put him in his early 20s. So I feel like while he's trained in martial arts and acrobatics and things like that, I think Gambit has the one up on him on that. I just think overall, again, can Rex get a blast off that's going to hurt Gambit for sure? Yeah. I just think majority of the time Gambit's going to place it where he needs it to be. He's also very crafty as far as like his way to talk to people. And
he's got that charm that I feel like, and I made a joke about charming him, but I do think that because Rex is very, at least what we've seen, he's very vain.
Yes.
His vanity is very evident. So I feel like there is a very good chance that Gambit could use that against him and get.
Without a doubt. Like I just imagine, Gambit just talking to him and having like just hearing Manzukis' voice, be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Just like completely getting in his head, and then setting, because he can have delayed charges too, right? So maybe he like
Gambit
touches
can,
something, he drops it, he's walking around, circling, he gets Rex to stand over it, and then when Rex is like, I'm gonna fuck your shit up, Gambit goes, oh, that's nice. And then just sort of like looks down and there's a card that has like a Joker on it and he's dead. You know what I mean?
I also think that disillusion too, the fact that he can cause objects to pull themselves apart. You know, maybe we underestimated Gambit when we were talking about this earlier, because the power grid, I think that's what threw me off.
Yeah.
If you look at Gambit's power grid, it's just horrendous.
Yeah.
But
he's got 2s and everything except for fighting skills. He's got a 4. But he does. I think that charm actually plays into this.
Yeah.
And his, you know, he's a master thief, man. He's a cunning guy. He's chaotic good.
He's a hustler. He's,
you know,
right? He knows. He gambles. Therefore, he knows odds. He knows how to weigh things. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like based off of this, it would be it'd be an explosive throwdown. But I feel like Gambit might take this one.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards Gambit on this one.
All right. So I'm going to try this again. It's not going to work, but we're going to give it a shot.
All right.
Give me 2 seconds. Here we go.
Here, I'll follow that up with the chainsaw fart. There you go.
All right.
Ta-da. The Cajun wins. That's right, Married with Gaming.
That's right. The Raging Cajun lives to fight another day.
Yes. That was a good throwdown. Thank you.
It was.
I think Slotty came up with that one, but also shout out to our Discord for coming up with these throwdowns. We appreciate them. They're very, very good.
If the listener, if you guys have any, if you want to pop into the Discord, we have a specific channel set up in there for throwdown suggestions. If you want to throw us suggestions on any social medias too, we're always open to taking suggestions.
Yes.
Last week we did one where Haig was unhappy with the outcome of a previous throwdown, so we revisited it.
Yeah.
We did not change our decision, but we revisited.
No. By the way, you have to tell me how Haig feels about that, because
Have not talked to him. I think he's upset with me.
I think it would be very, very fun to hear his response to that. So let's move on to recommendations. Justin, what do you got to recommend for this week?
I'm going to recommend the movie 500 Days of Summer.
Did you finish it?
I did not, but I've got like 10 minutes left. Things came up, Doug. Things came up. But the majority of the movie that I've seen, I really like, unless there's some horrific ending, which goes against everything they've been setting up. I still recommend it. And then also Ted Lasso. I'm going to keep on that until everyone in the world has watched it. Doug, what do you got?
By the way, I just want a quick note on 500 Days of Summer. My favorite thing about that movie is how so many people sympathize with Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character in that. And they're like, man, he got screwed over. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt has been on record saying, if you are on this character's side, you've missed the point of the movie. And I that just tickles me to death. Like, I love it when people just, like, when people grab characters and they associate it with their identity or their group. Like how a lot of cops are like, have the Punisher logo. I'm like, I don't think you know what this character does.
Or I'm missing the point big time.
You missed it. Or how like a lot of the Trump campaign would associate Trump with Thanos. I'm like, you guys know that he's the bad guy, right? Or with the Death Star and the Empire. I'm like, villains. They're the villains. All right. Anyway, I was a little hesitant at first, but I watched Jupiter's Legacy on Netflix, and I watched the first episode. And I was like, I feel like I know where this is going, and I was completely wrong. Like I did not know where it's going. The themes in the show were really cool. The effects leave you wanting. They're not the best, but what I like about the show is it's less about the superhero element, meaning like you're not watching guys punch each other and use their abilities. There is a real character-driven story that I find interesting. It's the idea of how do you stay good and do good and follow a code in a world that no longer allows for that code to exist.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's very, very interesting, and it didn't go the way that I thought it would, and I recommend it. Again,
but in the best way.
In the best way. Like, I don't go thinking you're going to get the best costume design or the best special effects. It definitely does not suit that, but the characters in the story
does have a CW look.
It does. It's not the best, but I really think the story is good. I would love for some other folks to watch it. I'd love to talk about it. I think it's a pretty good show. And I think it's only 8 episodes, so it's actually relatively short. And
I'll check it out. Is it on
Netflix?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think all the episodes are like 45 minutes or less, so they're not huge time investments. So it's definitely worth it. So check that out. I recommend
If this gets us another topic, I'm in.
I think it'd be cool, man. I think it'd take us down some cool places.
Cool.
Speaking of cool, don't forget to follow us on all our social medias at Mind Gap Podcast. Come over and check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv/MindGapPodcast. Drop us a follow. Turn on the notifications so you know whenever we go live, so you can see us when we do our podcast live, usually on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Central, and also when we do our video game streams Saturdays at 8 p.m. Central. But, occasionally we get these unique ones in there as well. But come hang out, join the chat, hang out with us. We appreciate your support. We love getting to interact with you while we do our stuff. And also check us out on YouTube. Find our channel there. Hit the subscribe button. We post all of our episodes there as highlights from our shows and our streams. It's the best. And also don't forget to follow Justin online as well.
That's right. Instagram and Twitter at Justin_Michael, spelled Mikel. It's the fun way of spelling it. And while you're in the online realm, check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, Stitcher, Samsung Podcast, and all the places where you listen. You can share us, subscribe to us, rate, review, all those things. The big one that's really important is sharing. So please just copy the link out, send it to everyone you know, and say, think you should listen to this podcast because it's enjoyable. These guys are wholesome and they never swear. There's no farts. Tell people that, and then they'll be surprised when that's a lie.
Yeah.
And then 2east8th.com/mindgap and 2east8th in general. Just keep an eye on all of 2east8th's socials at 2east8th stuff coming out.
Yeah, we got it coming out. It's coming out in droves.
Coming out in droves, sucker.
So thank you all for hanging out with us. This has been a great episode. We look forward to seeing you. So with that being said, Justin, thank you.
Douglas, thank you.
Twitch, thank you.
Listeners, thank you.
And you all have a dandy fucking week.
Mind Gap Podcast.